Well, he takes on his shots, does Kurt Mafflin. If they go in, great. If they don't, he's vulnerable. Well, at least he didn't undercut it. Overcut that one. And it could be really expensive.
One.
So this is a great chance.
Six.
Another match being played across the arena here, and the first frame of Ricky Walden Graham Dott has been a war of attrition. Yes, you're not seeing things. They did start just after 7 o'clock. It is 21 points to 29 in the opener. 4 reds left. A very scrappy table. Lots of snooker to be played in that one.
Yeah, someone sent a tweet actually a few moments ago, because we're in this commentary position for this match, but I'm told that balls are kicking and bouncing off cushions galore, and I don't know if that's true, but judging by what we've seen there, not only is it true the pockets are probably smaller than the balls, Phil. That's a very slow start. Anyway, no doubt that match will improve, but news of that as it goes later, but extraordinary. So much hope and expectation here at the Crucible, and
10.
You can start off a match and have a frame like that, and the confidence can drain like a tap, Phil. I know that from experience.
Well, Ricky Walden not known for being involved in slow frames and slow matches, apart from here at the Crucible, because of course he played Rory McLeod, didn't he, a couple of years back? So that was like going to the dentist.
14.
And then last year, in beating Kyron Wilson in the first round, the frame that clinched victory wasn't just
15.
a marathon, it was an ultra-marathon.
Yes, I think one of the longest frames I've seen for a while was in the final frame of the World Grand Prix earlier in the season, and earlier in the year actually, back in March, where Mark Davis beat Neil Robertson in a deciding frame that lasted 82 minutes on the
22.
On the final black. It wasn't a respot, I was going to say a respot, but it's actually on the black itself. These things happen.
23.
Well, that one slid in off the near jaw, didn't it? And I think that might happen on the first day here. And the reason I say that, there's a bit of extra sheen on the cushions and on the jaws. The balls will slide in off the pocket edge, but they won't do it maybe 2 or 3 days in.
30. $31.
Well, after squandering an opportunity in
36.
the previous frame and losing it, this is just the kind of window that Selby would have been looking for.
Yes, I agree, Phil. It was just the kind of chance
37.
he wanted to be presented with, and let's be fair, that's what it was. He worked very hard for this. Not there yet. Just nudge into the bunch. Not very firmly, I don't suppose. No, he played it quite firmly, actually. It's perfectly okay.
44.
At least we know with Mafflin winning the last frame, this match will make it past the mid-session interval.
45.
It's been pretty good scoring, you know, from Mark Selby today.
50.
Breaks of 84, 44, 108, the first century of the championship. 53, 69, 56, 48, and now this contribution.
51.
Didn't have much angle on that stun, that speed to widen it to get across.
Massive round of applause on the other table. Maybe someone spotted a ball.
Yeah, very harsh. Yes, it's a very slow start there, as we pointed out.
$59.
He still wants another red, interestingly, here. Those four are all tied up. Well, they were. Well, they're not there yet. I think with the two reds down the table, a lead of 66 with 67 on means even if Kurt did come back to the table, blacks with those two reds involved will be tough. That's what he needs with them. Difficult one, this. Very good.
57.
Well, the frame is safe now for me. And, Selby back to 4 frames up, it appears.
Now the next target for Mark Selby
64.
is to make his 2nd century of the match, and what would be his 49th here at the Crucible.
Yeah, the other thing, Phil, there's only been one century today, and that is the one that Selby made. There's been no others yet. I'm sure there'll be more than one in the championship somehow. I hope. But normally we get quite a few on the first day.
82. $83.
He's renowned as this hard match player, is Mark Selby, quite rightly so. But he's also a very heavy scorer. 6th on the all-time list of century break makers with 368.
88.
Only Ding Junhui, Neil Robertson, John Higgins, Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan have made more in professional competition.
89. $94.
Well, without going into what's happening on the other
95.
table, I did give you a little snapshot of what was happening, but there was a very ironic cheer you might have heard. I think we're on the right match, Phil, so far. It'll warm up, and we'll see what happens later, but we're watching the right match for the moment, aren't we?
What's that terrible
97.
cliche that commentators come out with? It's a match for the connoisseurs, the other one. That's a euphemism.
Yeah, that means it's not quite happening yet for either player, but this has been excellent from Selby. He would have been disappointed the way the last frame went. He had the good chance which went wrong.
102.
Now, first chance back here in the next frame. His 2nd century of the tournament, and the only 2 that have been made.
106.
Graphic, isn't it? I like that. Century number 2.
Yeah, I think it's along the lines of the 6s hit in limited overs World Cups.
I was just thinking that.
111.
Lovely shot. Now you can see that the break has been complicated. All those bolt colours are taken. Because this will be a total clearance if this goes in of quite a low one of 124.
Yes, a low total clearance, but high in quality. Very high. Selby 8, Macklin 4.